to the latest developments in the war with Iran, this situation changing by the minute.
The conflict appears to be widening, with Iran and Iranian-backed militias firing missiles at Israel and Arab states. 3 U.S. service members are among those killed. Christina Fan joins us live from outside the UN with the latest this morning. Christina?
Chris and Mary, good morning. In an interview, President Trump said the operation in Iran could take 4 weeks or less to complete, but he also said that, quote, that this operation will not end until all of our objectives are achieved. According to the Iranian Red Crescent, a total of 555 people have been killed in the country since U.S. and Israeli strikes started 2 days ago. Black smoke rose above the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait City Monday morning after the latest volley of Iranian strikes. Hours earlier, the Pentagon confirmed 3 service members based in Kuwait were killed in action, and at least 5 more injured in the first day of Operation Epic Fury. President Trump said he will avenge their deaths, while noting there will likely be more casualties as the military campaign continues.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons.
Iran's security chief wrote Sunday night on X, "We will not negotiate with the United States," in response to a report he had requested to do so. Across Iran, supporters of the now assassinated supreme leader gather to chant "Death to America." The Iranian military vowed revenge, striking back in Israel, where at least 11 people have died after a missile struck a synagogue in Beit Shemesh and a residential neighborhood in downtown Tel Aviv. Iran is even launching missiles towards neighbors that host U.S. military bases.
Oh my God.
The powerful Iranian strikes have shattered Dubai's image as a luxurious safe haven of glittering hotels and high-end resorts. The United Arab Emirates saying 3 people have died. It issued a joint statement with the U.S. and the governments of Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, saying in part, "The targeting of civilians and of countries not engaged in hostilities is reckless and destabilizing behavior. We stand united in defense of our citizens and reaffirm our right to self-defense." Foreign policy experts say Iran is targeting these countries on purpose.
They're trying to put pressure on American and Israeli allies as a way of getting those countries to really tell Washington and Jerusalem to stop what they're doing. But the opposite is actually happening.
Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth is expected to hold a news conference later on this morning at 8 a.m. to brief members of the press on the ongoing situation in the Middle East. He and Secretary of State Marco Rubio then plan to visit Congress on Tuesday to update lawmakers there. Reporting live on the East Side, Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
And the strikes against Iran are sparking a major debate in Washington. Lawmakers on both sides are split. Several members say only Congress has the constitutional power to declare war.
It is illegal, and the president is obligated under the Constitution to come to Congress and ask for an authorization of military force. He wouldn't get that authorization if he asked for it.
The administration has followed the War Powers Act. The president does have authority under Article 2. To conduct these limited strikes.
The White House says Pentagon officials briefed congressional staffers for more than 90 minutes yesterday on the operation.
The attacks on Iran and the killing of its supreme leader have been met with growing protests and rallies here in the city and around the United States. Elijah Westbrook live in Columbus Circle, where protesters will gather later today as part of a day of action. Elijah.
That's right, Chris, and I'll tell you this, by later today, this area of Columbus Circle could look very different, similar to what we saw play out in Times Square, where thousands of people flocked to that area to denounce essentially what was taking place overseas. You can see it right there on your screen after Iran's supreme leader was killed in U.S. and Israeli airstrikes. Hundreds of Iranian Americans marched, waving Persian, American, and Israeli flags, celebrating the death of Iran's supreme leader. One Iranian American student told us she was overwhelmed with emotion, saying after years of protests and crackdowns, she believes Iranians may finally have a chance at freedom. Others calling this a turning point.
I was crying and dancing the whole day yesterday after 50 days of torture, that they killed so many innocent lives.
We are honoring all the people that were murdered by the Ayatollah regime 50 days ago.
We want our brothers and sisters back home in Iran to have the same rights and privileges we do.
But a day earlier, a very different scene. Anti-war protesters packed Times Square and marched toward Columbus Circle, calling the strikes illegal and demanding an end to military action. Organizers say they reject what they call another endless war. And they tell us today's rally here at Columbus Circle is part of a nationwide day of action, with more demonstrations expected as this conflict continues. So again, this could be another busy day right here in Manhattan. Live right now just outside Central Park in Columbus Circle, Elijah Westbrook, CBS News, New York.
6:08 right now, and rising tensions in the Middle East are sending oil prices sharply higher. In the first trading session since the attacks, futures spiked more than 12%. U.S. crude is now around $75 a barrel, while Brent crude sits at near 82. And that increase could hit drivers fast, with experts warning gas prices may rise as soon as today. And futures, they are down sharply this morning as the markets react to that spike in oil prices, and investors awaiting the release of manufacturing data today. Stocks sank on Wall Street Friday, driven by growing uncertainty over AI. The Dow plunged 521, S&P lost 29, the Nasdaq dropped 210.
And we will continue to bring you the very latest developments on the war with Iran. We'll have more team coverage throughout the morning, and you can find even more updates at our website, cbsnewyork.com.